If I ever become a shave your head type of girl, this is what I'm aspiring to be. I will only be decked out in gold. Welcome everybody, or welcome back to my channel. I am CHIOMA, aka Chi, and today we're going to be doing one of my favorite hobbies, and we're going to be throwing shade. And we're not going to be throwing shade on just anyone. We're going to be throwing shade on Goodreads. If you're here, if you're in the book community, if you like to read, if you've ever read a book, you've heard of Goodreads. And Goodreads every year does this person's choice awards for the new releases of the year. I don't buy new releases because I don't got like that, but I do take a gander. I do like to look at what's going on, like who are the girls and the boys and everybody voting for. And I always see that there is a lack of people of color, so I never really pay it any mind. Princess over at Castle Library also knows the same thing, and that is where the Shaded Choice Awards came about. She decided to take matters into her own hands, so we're not being represented, Black authors aren't being represented on Goodreads, so let's make a place where we are so represented, or we are 100% represented, and that is the Shaded Choice Awards. If there's not a seat for us in the room, we gotta make our own table and bring our own seats, and that is exactly what Princess over at Castle Library did with the Shaded Choice Awards. So please go over to shadedchoiceawards.com and vote for your favorite debut books by your favorite authors of color and have a grand old time. So this is the Shaded Choice Awards tag, and I don't buy new releases. I ain't got it like that. And my library also doesn't get new releases. My library's idea of a new release is anything that was made in the last 5 years. So I always get a new release usually the year after when it comes out in paperback, you know, when it's that cool $9.99, when it's that cool $11.99, under $15, that's when your girl's peeping a new release. So because of that, this tag is going to be kind of a TBR, what I'm looking forward to reading, and some of the things that I got on Target because they were having a buy two get one free sale. So without further ado, let's start the tag. So the first question is a new Black or POC author that you read for this year, and that is going to go to Talia, Hibbert. So this is Take a Hint, Dani Brown. I also read Get a Life, Chloe Brown all this month because again, Target's having buy two get one free, so I got them both, and I absolutely adore this book. I am a romance lover. We are romance lovers over here at Chibi Reading, and I usually don't read contemporary romances unless they have characters of color, because honestly, let's be real, contemporary books don't hit unless you can relate to the main character. That's the whole point. So I definitely loved that this was a contemporary romance with a person of color. Same with Get a Life, Take a Hint, Dani Brown, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Love these books. So I never read Talia Hibbert before, but I'm definitely going to always stay on game whenever she's releasing new books, because this was it. If you like contemporary romance, this was it. So the second is a debut book that you've read, and I am going to go with a book that I haven't read yet, but I am so excited to read that I actually just got, and it's The Sound of Stars by Alicia Dow. This book is a YA sci-fi novel. I usually don't read too much YA anymore, but if it's sci-fi and if it's fantasy, your girl gonna pick it up. And this cover is my color scheme. This book sounds great. The kind of synopsis on the front is, can their love of books and pop music save the world? If that doesn't sound like some YA-ish, I don't know it does, but it still sounds so good. Alicia Dow is a Black author, and I'm so excited to read her debut novel. It looks like it's gonna be great. There's not a lot of YA sci-fi out there, but I'm here for this cover. I'm here for the Black authors. I'm here for the fact that I got this book in hardcover for under $10. I'm here for all of it. The third is a 2020 release that you haven't read yet, and that is this cover. It's just so pretty. It's by Tiffany D. Jackson. This cover, like, if I ever become a shave your head type of girl, this is what I'm aspiring to be. I will only be decked out in gold. This cover is amazing, and this is about, I think, a girl who wants to be a singer, and then she ends up at the center of this kind of murder mystery. So it's kind of thriller-ish, even though the cover doesn't give you thriller vibes. And your girl, me, I don't read thrillers. I don't read thrillers. I want to be better. I want to be a better person. I want to read thrillers. But yeah, I don't know. So, but if anything's gonna be my gateway drug into thrillers, it is this book. So this is a 2020 release. I am so excited to read. Again, I got it under $10, so even more excited. Tiffany D. Jackson, I know she went off on this. I've seen so many reviews saying they love it, so I'm excited for this one. The sixth question is your favorite book release by an author of color this year. Author of color? I'm gonna have to take it back to Take a Hint, Dani Brown, and Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Loved both of them. Those are my two favorite just feel good book. I would say I do typically read a lot of paranormal and fantasy, so there's a lot more that goes on in those books because I don't read a lot of contemporary, but I do feel like these contemporary books were just such a feel good. Like if you're in a reading club, 100%. If you are stressed from school, 100% the books to read. They just like, it's a breath of fresh air type books, and I think that's what makes it my favorite, even though it might be my most, not my most, like the pages were turning so fast and like I was thinking about it all day. It's still like my most feel good, like happy moments of 2020, because you know they were very few this year were while reading those books. So I will give both of those books the spotlight in this question for my favorite releases of 2020 by a Black author. And the seventh question is, who is a Black or POC author that deserves more recognition? And that is Beverly Jenkins. Okay, I have not read Beverly Jenkins before, but the fact that Beverly Jenkins is one of the only authors, please leave any more if you know in the comments, but one of the only Black authors that are doing Black historical romances. What? I think she deserves all the recognition because, you know, this cover alone, sickening. It's amazing, and it's historical. Like, I don't even read historical because of the treatment of Black people, because of the treatment of Africans, because of the kind of dissidence for people of color in all historical books, in my opinion. Either you're not included because as an author I don't feel comfortable writing you in the historical accuracy that you were in during this time, during colonial times, during slavery. Either that, or they write you in very flippantly in these books, like you are cast as these kind of dehumanizing roles in historical. So it's not for me. I'm not interested in reading that, but I'll read this. All this goodness, yes, I endorse it and I'll read it. So I don't think Beverly Jenkins gets a lot of recognition. I heard about her in someone's live stream. I don't remember whose live stream it was, but that's where I first heard about her. And I was like, how is this? How have I been reading for 15 plus years and never heard of Beverly Jenkins? It's a disservice to my people and to myself. So a book I'd recommend that I don't directly identify with is the book that I'm currently reading, and that is Girls of Paper and Fire. The main character here I do believe is of Asian descent, even depicted in this fantasy world. I know the author Natasha, either Natasha Ngan or Natasha Ngan. She is Malaysian and Chinese, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I know she was raised in Malaysia and I think she's part Chinese. So I am not of Asian descent. So it's a different ethnic background than I am, and I do believe that the main character here is LGBTQ. I haven't got into anything that would indicate, but I know for the reviews they say this is a great representation of LGBTQIA. So on both of those fronts, this is a community, a person who is a part of two communities that I don't identify with. Loving this book so far, so I think this is also a great recommendation. This was published, I'm pretty sure, in 2019, so it's not a new release as categorized by, you know, the definition of a new release, but to me and to my pockets, it's a new release. So definitely this is one that I don't identify with, but I definitely think is a great book and should be picked up. And I think it's so important to read books from different perspectives, different communities, different people than you are, because I think it just builds empathy for those communities and it's able to see how they see the world from a different perspective. And I think that's so important and such a beautiful part of reading. So this one is great. And the last one is my favorite, Black or people of color content creators that you would recommend. I have to give it up, of course, the Castle Library to Princess. I love her videos. She's so full of energy. She reads the best books, and I feel like once I elevate or graduate to a different type of reader, I will be reading on the same, reading in the same general area as her. But some of the books she reads, I'm just like, one day that book, I'll be with you, but I'm not there yet. Reads the best book, the prettiest books. Absolutely love her. Another one, Jessica Nicole Dickerson. Love her. She's so chill. She creates such chill vlogs, and she's just such a fun reader. And Jessie over at Bowties and Books, they are one of my favorite booktubers too. Again, such a chill vibe to all of their vlogs and all of their videos, and always so funny, and hair always on point, dress it always on point, makeup always on point. Love to see it. If you want to be persuaded to go on a book shopping spree, a book buying binge, Mika August is your girl. Her hauls are addicting, and they just always make me feel like, you know what would make me happy right now? More books. And it's always right. except it won't make my bank account happy, but it makes my soul happy. And that, I think, is the best thing a booktuber could teach you. So Mika August, definitely. Kehlani Simply Me, again, another person whose videos are so chill. Their vibe is so chill, their vlogs are so chill, and they also read so many or get so many books. I'm just like, I can always count on a recommendation from Kehlani Simply Me. And someone who has a similar reading style. I know her favorite genre, because, you know, I be on live streams. Her favorite genre is also fantasy romance, or fantasy with a bit of romance, but mine is paranormal romance. So you know when someone has the same genre as you can always take the recommendations. That's Kehlani Simply Me for me. So I love her. Pardon My Imagination, also amazing, great. Another person who is a part of the amazingness that is the Shaded Choice Awards. You know, gotta give my kudos. Thank you for taking the initiative. Definitely a great creator. And a new one that I just discovered, Literary Fairy. Love her. I adore her. Amazing videos, so fun, so chill. Like, okay, so I think I'm gonna stop there. I'll probably list more in the description, but thank you for everyone who watched so far, watched up to this point. Definitely go and vote on the Shaded Choice Awards. It is amazing what these girls did to create this. I love when people, again, take it into their own hands to kind of like fill in the gaps, like make what we need. This is what we need, and no one else is gonna make it, so here we are. So what we're gonna do. I absolutely adore that. So thank you to Princess over at Castle Library, everyone who was a part of the Shaded Choice Awards. Definitely go vote. Tell me if you plan on reading any of these books, and I'll talk to you guys later.